What's up, family? What's up, family? How y'all doing?
Hello, hello. Welcome to Live at 5 for 15 with the Porters, of course. And we are gearing up for something special. We are gearing up for something special. We're gearing up for something amazing. In the next 6 days, we will be officially celebrating our fifth year as authors.
5
Not
years.
only celebrating our fifth year as authors, but we are also going to be celebrating the fifth year of the I Am the Curse Breaker movement. The
Yes.
I Am the Curse Breaker movement. So I'm truly excited about what God is getting ready to do. And we are also releasing a anniversary revision. I revised the book last year sometime, and it just wasn't the time. I thought it was the time, and I was ready to release the revision last year, and God said, "Not right now, not just yet." So we're gonna officially be releasing the revision, the revised copy. It will be available for pre-sale. Will be available for pre-sale pretty soon. So y'all, yesterday we kind of hopped on yesterday, and so up until the 16th, which is our anniversary day, we're gonna celebrate with you all. We're gonna need you all to help us celebrate. If you purchase the I Am the Curse Breaker, send us your reviews. If you purchased a shirt, or if you were given a shirt, send us a picture of you and your gear. This is more than just a book. This is more than just a declaration. This is just more than something cool to wear, to walk around. This is more than a conversation piece.
Absolutely.
This is more than that. So this is a movement. This is it's a declaration, but it's a greater declaration. It's not something that we should take casually. When you are declaring that the great I am is the curse breaker, that the great I am is the curse breaker.
Absolutely. And I know there's a bunch of you on here that are the curse breakers of your family, of this generation. And I want you to walk boldly in that. Walk boldly in that. It only takes one of you all to declare that you are the curse breaker of your family, for you to say yes for real, for God to bring you through a process that's going to set generations to come free. Those that's coming after you, your kids and your kids' and your kids' won't even have to deal with some of the things that you've dealt with.
That's right. That's right. And so on yesterday, we just gonna come and chop it up with y'all just a little bit. Again, live at 5 for 15. So make sure you get whoever you need to get in the room, because we're only gonna be here for about 15 minutes. We're only gonna be here for about 15 minutes. But yesterday we kind of talked about what was the inspiration behind the push to even becoming authors. We even talked about ascending. The Bible asks, who shall ascend? Those with clean hands and a pure heart. But what is ascension? What actually happens when you ascend? And so we even talked about the acronym from the place of annihilating annihilating spiritual curses that's enabling next dimension, annihilating spiritual curses that's enabling next dimension. And so you are designed with the responsibility to not just break a curse, but also to annihilate it, to utterly destroy it, to cause it to be eradicated. That way, the generations that's gonna come won't even be able to trace that particular thing back to your bloodline, back to your family at all. They won't even be able to. So we encourage you not just to break the curse, but to annihilate it, to
Absolutely.
utterly destroy every curse that has been lingering in your family, that has been running in your family until it ran into you. Until it
Absolutely.
ran into you.
And you mentioned who would have sinned that scripture. You said those with clean hands and pure hearts. And this is why it's important for us to annihilate those curses that's causing us to have not clean hands and not having a pure heart. And so when you begin to break the curse, you're no longer for settling what was passed down, settling for what you grow up in, knowing that thing that you did in survival. Come on, you may have grew up in a poverty type environment and family, but you don't have to live in it. And so when you decide to come out of poverty, your mindset changed. So you're no longer doing the scheming you once did to survive. You're no longer docking up, those documents and things like that. You're not doing things that's causing your hands to be dirty. You're not doing those things no longer was keeping you stuck where you at. So you have to make sure that you annihilate these curses and break the cycle, in order for you to ascend, for you to go to a higher level than some of your ancestors may have went in their process. So you declaring you the one, you're going to go through some things that's going to strengthen you. Come on. You're going to go through some things that's going to test you, but you stand tall, staying firm, knowing that you declare that you're the curse breaker. So when you declare that, some things are going to be exposed in your life, but exposure is good because now that it's exposed, you can dispose it.
That's right. And so yes, the famous words, break the curse and not the vow. Break
Absolutely.
The curse. And
that stemmed from that
stemmed from this. And so we didn't want people to feel like we were talking specifically about wedding vows, right? Marriages or anything of that sort, because break the curse and not the vow. The curse that's on you, that's causing you to fornicate, the curse that's holding you bound to cause you to break the vow that you made to God.
Yeah.
The vow that you made to God. So in the I Am the Curse Breaker, book, which we thought it was just a book, but God said, nah, it's greater than just a book. We talk about 11 things, 11 generational, some could be looked upon as word curses that we actually broke, off of our lineage, off of our bloodline, that we annihilated. So we talk about addiction. We talk about divorce, mental illness, physical illness, pride, rejection, hatred, resentment, as well as unforgiveness. So we talked about breaking all of those different curses. And this, and we were talking yesterday as well, and we were talking about how impactful this book was when it came out. And I began to get the revelation behind it was because here it is. We are pastors. We are traveling all over, ministering, praying, seeing in rooms with some big names, some big people. And here it is. You're doing all of that, but you are talking the talk that they didn't really hear. You didn't hear people in ministry talking about exposing different curses this deep in those times. And so I was wondering, I wonder why this book was so impactful the way that it was when it first came out. And I had to think about it. A lot of people that was purchasing it was people that was in ministry, people that was in churches, people that was pastors, people that were prophets, people that was leaders, right? Because they never heard people be so real. One of the things that a lot of people was drawn to was how in the book we talk, Apostle talks about how he was introduced to lust, and so that was like the foundation for a lot of people to say, well, dang, like I was molested as a boy.
Yeah.
I was touched as a girl. And so I wondered why I dealt with lust.
Yeah.
Dealt with a spirit, right? A spirit. And that spirit was going from generation to generation. And we talk about even via our testimony. It's definitely a book of testimony. We talk about it in our testimony, how that thing was in us, so it would became in our home.
Yeah.
It became in our home. And we talk about some sensitive things about how our 2-year-old was caught like looking on the phone at inappropriate things. Like a 2-year-old, like, whoa, and so that was that call that we got. I think that was that call to this is something deeper.
Yeah.
This is something that we have to annihilate.
Absolutely.
This is something that we have to break.
Yeah. And it's very deep. It's very deep because, we will say, even with that situation you just mentioned, and a lot of other situations, we would say, well, we never exposed them to this, or they never saw this, and how, because this thing, we say spirits are real, and spirits transfer. They don't even have to see these things. And so when you coming into contact, this is why it's important that you as parents, you have to break that curse off of you, whatever it may be, perversion, lust, lying spirit, all of these things, you have to break it off you, because you're going to pass it down. And you can say, well, you know what? I don't expose them to that. I don't even say this around them or do this around them. Man, it's in you, it's on you, and it's going to transfer. And so this thing that was being exposed in our young kid, it made us go deeper. And you have to go deeper, because again, we would like to blame, what our kids are doing, on the environment, or you would say, I'm not teaching them that, but yeah, it's still on you, and so you're probably going to pass it down if you don't break it. And so it's important that you be the one, you say, you know what, I'm going to break this, and so we declared that. And so a lot of stuff was exposed, and you got to expect exposure. And you have to face it. You have to be real with it and say, you know what, this ran in my bloodline. Because if you go back, man, even addiction, and this thing is real deep, because it's in the blood. Also, it's in our habits, because I can remember being a kid, and, a lot of you all can probably relate. Some of you all drank your first alcoholic beverage, your beer, probably at like 2 or 3 years old. Your family member be drinking and they just pass you the bottle and you drink it, not even knowing that they're starting a whole the beginning of addiction. They don't even know, even doing these things around you. They probably ain't passing you the blunt, but it's in the same room and you've seen it. And so our habits and the things that we do, we pass the curse down, we pass addiction down, we pass unforgiveness down, and this thing goes on in our family. And you have to be the one to say, you know what? I'm not going to be the one with unforgiveness in my heart. You'll have relatives who've been mad at each other for years, and they throw that same spirit on you. Or we not going by this person's house. And why? And so now you passing down hate, you passing down unforgiveness. And so this thing is real. And so when you declare that you're the curse breaker, all across the board, you walking in righteousness. You're not compromising in no way, because it takes just a little compromise. Come on, that would compromise your whole bloodline. And so we are the curse breakers. And you got to expose this thing. And when you expose this thing, stand firm on it and break this thing, and don't let it break you.
That's right. And so before we get ready to wrap it up, y'all be on the lookout. Y'all make sure y'all notifications are set. We are going to be releasing pre-sale links. We're going to be releasing things, and we're going to be releasing a lot of other goodies along with the revised copy, So just make sure y'all stay tuned to be able to celebrate with us. We're celebrating 5 years. 5 years of being authors, as well as 5 years of God trusting us with the I Am the Curse Breaker movement. And we are finally on the move. We are finally on the move. This book, this declaration needs to be across the nation.
Absolutely.
Needs to be across the nation. And we're going to need your help with that. We're going to need your help with supporting the movement. Don't look at it like you just investing in another book to go on your bookshelf to gain some dust, or another t-shirt that you end up starting to sleep in. But be able to wear this proudly be able to wear this as the one that's chosen to break
Absolutely.
every generation curse off your bloodline with the help of the great I am, with the help of the great I am. So, all right, that's it. That's we're looking forward to seeing you all back here tomorrow. But before the live at 5 for 15, catch us on Daily Doses with the Porters. We go live Monday through Friday at noon, Monday through Friday, with your daily dose of drugs. And that drug is doing right under God. Doing right under God. So if you're not doing anything, or even if you are, come stop by on tomorrow or watch the replay. If you haven't watched the replay for today, go back and watch today's replay as well. We have a bunch of them there. Or go over to the YouTube page. If you don't want to scroll through our page, go over to our YouTube page and begin to look at some of those daily dosages. They have definitely been a drug that has been ordered by the doctor, and they have been working. They have been working. So until next time.
We love y'all. Y'all be blessed. We'll see you all tomorrow.